I have prepared another 5 quick tips to work with 3DExperience platform, specifically with Xshape. Let's go. The first tip I have for you is this tool, Extrude. Not the typical extrude that we know that you can find under features. Not that one, not this one. I'm talking about a bump. If I click on a given mesh surface and click OK, it will create a bump. And that's not what I want. The technique I want to talk about is this. If I click on this surface and I click on some opposite one, maybe here, it will create a cavity instead of a bump. It will create a tunnel like this. So that was number one. If you want to create a cavity, you can use this technique to maybe create something like this, like that. However, Control Z. If you pay attention to my component, I have a wall with almost the thickness of 0. And if I change my view to cage only, you can see that perfectly here. It's just one cage and there is no way of thickening that surface. If I move this in, nothing would happen. So how do we fix this? Control Z. There is the second tip, which is subdivide faces. I'm going to click on this surface, and on this surface, on my surface, I mean one single mesh, and click OK. Now it will look like this, also on the back. And if I click on extrude and select these smaller segments, I can create a tunnel. This is our cage view. If I go to surface only, you can see that the surface is no longer 0 in thickness. In fact, I can select these two, make it a little bit thicker, and there you go. So this is the second tip I wanted to talk about. Now imagine this is going to be an actual component and I would like to install this in SolidWorks, and I would want these surfaces on the top to be absolutely flat. And for that, we have the creased edges. However, creased edges does not necessarily mean edges. It can crease a surface for you. I'm going to select these surfaces over here and on the back as well. And I click OK. As you can see, this surface is absolutely flat. And if I insert this component in SolidWorks, the local version, I can start drawing on the surface. I can do the same here on the cloud version, on the browser version, which I will do in a second too. But before I do that, I want to talk about a technique which is very helpful. Once you box select or even just select singularly a point, edge, or a surface, you get this robot, this scaling tool, the moving displacement tool, the rotation tool, and all that. So at the end of each arrow, the X, Y, and Z, you see these circles. If I move a circle, it would scale that selection in the direction of that arrow. For example, if I move this, it would scale it in the direction of, let's say, if this is somewhere along the line of YX direction. So this is the scaling tool. Now, if I hold the Alt key down and if I move that one circle, it would scale it in all 3 directions at once. And I can just scale it up or down like this. So by holding the Alt key on the keyboard, I'm able to do so. Now, going back here, my circle for the pull is no longer a circle. It's just basically something odd like an egg. I can go to Sketch tab and draw a circle on this surface. Let's just look at it perpendicularly like this, like that, maybe a little bit larger, and I can move it here. But I have applied it a tangential relation. I go to the Features tab, select Extrude. I'm going to select through all both and click OK. And there you go. However, this brings me to my next point, and that is by doing so, I am no longer in the subdivision mode anymore. As you can see, every surface is meshed and divided into smaller segments, but this cylinder is just one single mesh, and it's not like I can scale it or move it. Similarly, if I want to move this, I have to double click on this, and it would just get rid of that circle. It does not actually get rid of it. If you pay attention to my design tree, it suppresses it until I do everything, then I move everything back down, and it would reappear here like this. So if you want to work with the subdivision, like the clay model, move it back and forth. And then if you want to apply some typical standard features like extrude cut, extrude boss, or etc., you're going to have to keep them separate, or it does that for you. You cannot do it mix and match. You just do one, and once you're done, you do the other. Now, the next thing I want to do is that I want to create another hole here. So I would double click here just for the sake of going back and forth. Not that we don't know how. We know we can go to bump and just click on these two and then click OK. Now this is it. At this point, we can go to the Tools tab. We can change the color. Just for the sake of the example, this is where the color is. Selecting everything. like this. This is the color. I had to do it a couple of times to get the hang of it, and click OK. We want to test something. Now, this is time to export this component and bring it into SolidWorks. And while I do that, I'm going to recap the 5 tips I did cover for you in this video. First, we change this to export. Click on export. The SolidWorks 3DExperience or the 3DExperience platform does not save your component with the local native SolidWorks format, which is the SLD-PRT. It does not. So we would save it as a step file. While it does that, first we started to use the extrude feature on the subdivision tab, not to create a bump, but to create a cavity by selecting 2 opposite or 2 meshes on different planes. Then we used subdivide faces to further divide a singular mesh into multiple mesh, so the wall thickness is no longer 0. Then we used creased edges to make the top and the bottom surface around those holes absolutely flat. Then we use the Alt technique to scale our component in all 3 directions at once. We use the extrude cut from the sketch and the feature tab to create a perfectly circular hole. And now we are exporting our component. Now we want to save this on the disk, not on the cloud. So we just click on File on Disk, keep the name the same, change the format to step AP203 would do, and we just export this. We just did that. Now I'm going to open that file. We're going to look for step. We will find it here. And this is how our component looks like. Import diagnostics. Sure, if you want to do that. It's a perfect component. It runs much smoother and faster here with my Space Mouse. And as I told you, this surface is so flat, I can just start drawing on it. However, I see that last move I did just destroyed that flat surface, which is this bump, this hole. By doing so, it dragged these 2 surfaces down. They're no longer flat, and they just, as a result, they move the rest with it. So unfortunately, I don't have an absolute flat surface anymore. If I did not create this bump, I could just click here and start drawing a sketch on this surface. And this is our circular hole. Looking at it from the top, perfect cylinder, and we can just take it from here. We can just do whatever we want with this component. Let's see what I would like to do here to just make an example. How about I draw a hole here and extrude cut this through the component and see how it works. Yeah, just one direction is enough. Yep, like that. So this is the best way to approach designing organic geometries and then combining that component with the desktop version. Now, as the bonus tip, when you are working on an organic geometry, you do it on the Xshape, on the cloud, you save it, you bring it to SolidWorks, you can add whatever you want to it with details, with dimensions. For example, if you want to wrap something on the inside, or you want to add a loft, add the wirings, the tubings, buttons, cuts, everything. Once you do that, you don't have to save it and go back to Xshape, import it in, and then do it. You can just log in from inside your SolidWorks, which I have already connected it to the cloud version. And as you can see, my profile appears here, logout Aryan Fallahi. Now, the beautiful thing is I can just save my component from here while my SolidWorks desktop version is connected to my 3DExperience platform, and I can save my component from here to the cloud. I can just lock my component so nobody can edit it. I can activate the view only mode or the comment mode, or I can unlock it and let my team members from different parts of the world to access my file, download it, edit it, save it, so I see what they save and what they change here. It's basically an easy way to collab with one or more than one person at the same time on one component, sitting at different computers in different locations around the world. So this is a topic that I will cover in a different video because I have already covered the 5 tips. I wanted to keep this video short. I know there aren't many videos about this topic on the internet, so if you like to learn more about the 3DExperience platform, comment it below this video. And if you are seeing this video for the first time, if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe for more videos. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn about SolidWorks Essentials on the desktop version, click on the video on the right. And if you want to learn more about working with Xshape or 3DExperience platform, the cloud version in general, click on the video on the left.